This comment is the truth. Someone got in touch and told me they had a GT620 they were willing to sell me. Now, I was a bit skeptical because I posted several of these videos already asking about this card, and then out of the blue, one just gets a response. But it turns out that this person did in fact have one. In fact, they had been trying to sell one for quite some time on an eBay listing I apparently missed. Strange. I don't know how I managed to miss this. Maybe it was because I have been exclusively looking for 2GB versions of the card, and this is only a 1GB version. So, as soon as I was aware that this guy was desperately trying to sell this thing, it'd been on eBay for months, I bought it. And now I am the proud owner of a 1GB NVIDIA GT620 with the reference clock speeds. There's an important note there with the reference clock speeds. NVIDIA, in their wisdom, designs a graphics card, the GT620. They say, this is the board design we recommend. This is the clock speed and the memory clock speed we recommend. Go and make them, third-party companies. And what do the third-party companies do? They cut down the board design to make it cheaper so they can make more money and sacrifice the clock speeds of the CPU and memory. So, the reference design has a clock speed on the CPU of 800 megahertz, and the GPU's memory is clocked at 900 megahertz. That's the reference design. This Gigabyte model that I have, as overclocked as I could get it, cannot match those numbers. It comes out of the box with 700 megahertz on the chip and 600 on the memory. I managed to overclock that to 725 on the chip and 700 on the memory. So, still a far cry from the numbers I need in order to match the reference design. And the GPU that I've been after, the Asus DC2 model of the GT620, actually used slightly higher clock speeds than the reference design. So hopefully overclocking is going to get me to the exact speeds I wanted. Now, I am sacrificing the 2 gigs of VRAM here, only going down to 1 gig. Do I think that's going to matter though, considering the actual horsepower of this graphics card? Not really. Now you see, the GT620, that is a pretty cut down chip. I think it was based on the same chip as the GT625 and 630. And yeah, there was a 625. There were a lot of 600 series cards. And realistically, for the amount of horsepower the card has, I think that the card itself is going to bottleneck before the RAM does. There are going to be very few games that this card can actually handle that will use more than 1 gig of VRAM, in my opinion.